Vishwapad Paramhamsa Parivirajagacharya Ashtota Sattva Shishnavachila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishwapad Paramhamsa Parivirajagacharya Ashtotar Sattva Shishnavachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kodi Vaishnavrinda Ki Sri Rup Sri Sanatan Bhattaraganath Sri Jeev Gopal Bhattara Saraganath Sari Goswami Prabhu Ki Prem Se Ko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopa Gop Govinath Shankund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Mayapanavi Dham Ki Jaganapuri Dham Ki Vrinda Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Ganga Yamuna Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Ki Sri Sri Radha Shama Sadhguru Ki God Premanande Hari Hari Bol Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki all glories to the Asama devotees, all glories to the Asama devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are reading from the Bhagavad-Gita as it is, 16th chapter. The Divine and Demoniac Nature, text number 9. Etam drishtim avastabhyam nastatman alpabudhaya prabhavantyugra karmana kshayaya jagato hitaha etam drishtim avastabhya nastatmanul pabudhaya pavantyugra karmana kshayaya jagato hitaha etam drishtam avastabhya nastatmanul pabudhaya pavantyugra karmana kshayaya jagato hitaha etam drishtim avastabhya nastatmanul pabudhaya pavantyugra karmana kshayaya jagato hitaha etam this drishtim vision avastabhya accepting nashta having lost atmanaha themselves alpabudhaya the less intelligent prabhavanti flourish ugra karmana engaged in painful activities kshayaya for destruction jagata of the world ahita unbeneficial. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Purport. The demoniac are engaged in activities that will lead the world to destruction. The Lord states here that they are less intelligent. The materialists who have no concept of God think that they are advancing But according to Bhagavad-Gita, they are unintelligent and devoid of all sense. They try to enjoy this material world to the utmost limit and therefore always engage in inventing something for sense gratification. Such materialistic inventions are considered to be advancement of human civilization. But the result is that people grow more and more violent and more cruel. Cruel to animals and cruel to other human beings. They have no idea how to behave toward one another. Animal killing is very prominent amongst demoniac people. Such people are considered the enemies of the world because ultimately they will invent or create something which will bring the destruction to all. Indirectly, this verse anticipates the invention of nuclear weapons, of which the whole world is today very proud. At any moment, war may take place, and the atomic weapons may create havoc. Such things are created solely for the destruction of the world, and this is indicated here. Due to godlessness, such weapons are invented in human society. They are not meant for the peace and prosperity of the world. Amagyanatimirandasya gyananjana salakaya chakshurunmilitam yanam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yayana Bhutale Sayam Rupagadama Dadati Saparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakandvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Ganta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Ganchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Etam drishtim avastabhya nastatmanol pabudaya pavantyugra karmanaha kshayaya jagato hitaha. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. So, this verse is continuation of the previous verse. So the previous verses, so describing demoniac nature. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say this produce of sex desire has no cause other than lust. So these are some conclusions of common man, materialistic person, demoniac persons. And so that is the situation in the world. Of course, by the Lord's grace, some empowered personalities come in this world to help the conditioned souls. So Krishna is appearing and disappearing. Similarly, the pure devotees are also appearing and disappearing. for the benefit of the conditioned souls. Just like today, so one of Prabhupada's disciples, Subhag Maharaj, today is his appearance day, who is preaching Krishna consciousness, and also Srila Prabhupada's one God-brother disciple, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, his disappearance, and Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, his appearance. So great personalities are coming and going for the benefit of the conditioned soul, to help the conditioned souls. Because without the help of the Lord Himself or the empowered representative, the conditioned soul can actually not make any advancement in spiritual life. They can hardly understand why we are here in this world. And then so many misconceptions are there, as explained in these last two verses. And we can see that even in Gaur Lila, just to show the situation in this world, the Lord's pastimes are there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Kali Yuga avatar, who has come to establish the process for this age, the chanting of the holy names, especially by distributing the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then he was instructing his pure devotees. So even the pure devotees, when they come to this world, so in the beginning of their lives, just like they may appear in this world, and then just like human beings, other human beings, and then they are going to school, they have to learn things, and they may not immediately manifest transcendental qualities or transcendental knowledge. So one of Mahaprabhu's associates, Sanatana Goswami, he was expressing one time that Kiami, so speaking Bengali, who am I? Why am I here in this world? So that is common to the human beings in this world, that they will question at one point, why am I here in this world? What is the purpose of this material existence? And then what will happen at the time of death? Where will I go? So the common man has no proper idea. And then one don't want to think about this, death. No, I'm living here and I'm trying to be happy, and now don't speak about that. But it is a fact, it is there. And so an intelligent man, he will inquire. And then he will, so mostly also have the feeling that there's a supreme being there. And then the intelligent person, he will inquire. Atato Brahma Jigyasa, as explained in Vedanta Sutra, the essence of the Vedic literatures. Now it's time to inquire about the absolute truth. And for that purpose, one should approach a knowledgeable person who is learned in the scriptures and actually who is a representative of the Lord, as Krishna told Arjuna also, Tadvidi Paripatina Prashna Seva Yopadekshati Deganam Gyanidas Tattvadarshinaha. Try to learn the absolute truth by approaching the representative of the Lord, Tattvadarshinaha, who has realized the Lord, who has realized the absolute truth. In a humble way, one should approach the saintly persons, the spiritual masters. Pariprashnena, ask questions, Paripatina, humbly. And then the spiritual master, he can give transcendental knowledge because he has seen the truth, he has realized. So, Krishna himself, he has come to speak the Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita, the song of God. So when the Lord is speaking, it is like a song. It is very beautiful. And meant for the benefit of the conditioned soul. Similarly, the representative of the Lord is giving this transcendental knowledge, as he has heard in the disciplic succession, which is the message of the Lord, for the benefit of the conditioned souls. And those who are fortunate, those who are intelligent, they will pick up. And then they will be able to understand this material world. They will come to know about the spiritual world. They will come to know about the process by which one can realize one's existence as spirit soul. And then one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. So, Krishnavanam tasa Krishnam sangha pangastapa sadam yagya sankirtanya praya yajantehi sumedasaha. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto. The 9 Yogendras, great saintly persons, they approached the king who was eager to understand the absolute truth, King Nimi. And they gave him this transcendental knowledge. So one of them, Karabhajana Muni, he spoke this verse, which is indicating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the absolute truth. Krishna vanam tisa Krishnam. He is always chanting Krishna's name. And his complexion is not like Krishna's, not darkish, but it is golden, Gauranga. And he has come with his associates who are helping him distribute this transcendental knowledge. So those who are intelligent, they will pick up this process. They will perform devotional service. They will chant the holy name. Yagya, that is the sacrifice in the age of Kali, is chanting the holy names. And by chanting the holy names, one can make rapid advancement. And Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kolam nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva katiranyata. And so, and those who meditate on the Paramatma, the local aspect, localized form of the Lord as super soul, so they also understand the existence of the soul. And even those who are following the Vedic literatures in order to get some benefit, material benefit, in order to be happy in this world, in order to be able to enjoy in this world, usually they also accept the existence of the soul. But then others who are less intelligent, therefore here it is mentioned, the demoniac people, or those who are very materialistic, so they are considered to be less intelligent or have no intelligence. And so they engage in activities which are not beneficial for themselves or the world. And as Prabhupada is explaining, so the materialist people, they've invented, created weapons for mass destruction, especially the nuclear weapons, atom bomb. And so, of course, as indicated here by Prabhupada, they will say, yes, we have weapons, so many missiles, so many bombs, just to protect ourselves. We protect ourselves with these weapons. So we have these weapons, so nobody will attack us. But then, so the danger is there that these weapons may be used by the demoniac persons, unqualified persons, and then mass destruction will be there. So, and many times if there's some disagreement between countries, then they take up these weapons and they kill each other. Then there's destruction there. But the human form of life is meant for self-realization, is meant for the human beings to live a regulated life with God or Krishna in the center. And of course, so the environment should be conducive. And the consciousness should be in the mode of goodness, sattvic, sattva gun. And then we may progress. If the consciousness and one's activities are in mode of passion, then the distress will follow. And if one is in mode of ignorance, then one will be degraded. And then one may enter into the animal kingdom in the next life. But the human form of life is meant for self-realization. Tamasima jyotirgamayaha. So we should leave this mode of ignorance, darkness, and go to the light. That is ultimately a devotional service. Mrittama amritagamayaha. So we should give up this materialistic way of thinking, this material life. We should become free from the cycle of birth and death. Mrittama amritagamayaha. And we should go to that which is nectarian, amrit, so which is devotional activities. And then one may enter the spiritual kingdom. So amrit also means without that, eternal life will be there. Asatma sadgamayaha. So we give up that which is impermanent. Asat, that which is detrimental. We give up this ignorance. Sat gamayaha, and we go to the eternal life, to the transcendental life, with transcendental knowledge, realization. So Krishna is explaining to Arjuna these points. And so he's mentioning about this demoniac nature so one may understand. And then it is mentioned also in the age of Kali. So the living entities, they have some devotional tendencies because by nature we are devotees of the Lord. So we should be devoted. Devotee means one who is devoted to the Lord. And then, so, if one has the proper consciousness, one is devoted to the Lord, then one can advance and one will be peaceful. And then actually the Lord will help us also and provide what we need, preserve what we have and provide what we need. So the Lord is very merciful. Krishna is merciful. Mahaprabhu is merciful. Krishna's devotees, they are merciful. And they are trying to help the conditioned soul. And Paropakar, Bharat Bhumi Tahel Manusya Janma Jara Janma Satakakari Karapa. So those who have appeared in Bharat Bhumi and these auspicious, pious world, Bharat Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, where holy places are there, where the Lord appeared, and devotees are there, pious persons are there. And so by coming in contact with devotees of the Lord, by coming in contact with the holy place of the Lord, by taking shelter of the process of devotional service, the deities, and then one can advance. So, under the guidance of the devotees, one can advance. So they are always there to help the conditioned souls. So, one who was taking birth in this world, earthly planet, Bharat Bhumi, and who is engaged in devotional activities. Satakari. First they should try to become themselves perfect. And then Paropakar, then they should do good to others, welfare work. By giving knowledge to them, by giving them transcendental literatures. By distributing the holy names, by distributing prasadam, then others are benefited. And that is what the devotee is trying to do. The devotees are trying to act for the pleasure of the Lord. Krishnendriya Priti, to satisfy the Lord, to satisfy the Lord's senses. Whereas materialistic persons, demoniac persons, Atmendriya Tripti, they act for their own pleasure, to gratify their senses. And then they don't care for others. And rather than helping others, they will try to pull down others, give harm to others. So that is the situation, especially in the age of Kali. So the saintly persons are less, the demoniac persons are more. So it is challenging, but if one is taking shelter of the Lord and the devotees of the Lord, then one can advance and one can be somewhat peaceful in this world. The difficulties will always be there from one's own body and mind, from all living entities, natural disasters. So difficulties may be there. But if we are intelligent and take shelter, then we are protected and we can advance, despite all difficulties of this world. So by Mahaprabhu's mercy, the process is very simple. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And hear about Krishna, serve Krishna, try to remember Krishna. And then, so, take nice Krishna prasadam. Very simple. Any questions? Yes.
Prabhuji, what have you heard about the World War?
What I've heard about the World War?
Prophecy.
Prophecy, okay, what I've heard. Yeah, first time I came here to Vrindavan, 1980, 45 years ago. So, devotees, they were speaking about, yes, Prabhupada said World War will be there. And then they were saying, Prabhupada said, yeah, after a few years, And then devotees were saying, yes, in 3-4 years, World War will be there. And then 3, 4, 5, 6 years passed by, nothing happened. And then somehow things were a little more peaceful. And then devotees saying, yes, by chanting the holy names, by performing Sankirtan, then that could be avoided, World War. But then recently again, just actually the last 4-5 years, then again this has come up again of World War, that it is inevitable. Many people are saying. And then, of course, COVID came, which was a kind of difficult situation, and everyone became very much scared. And then fighting, so specifically also between Russia and Ukraine. And then, so again, devotees, even many materialistic people are saying World War III beginning now. And the devotees again saying also, Prabhupada said in one place that after 50 years there will be World War. So that they mentioned also 1 or 2 years ago. And so, yes, still the talk is there to some extent. And so war, that is inevitable in this material world. But to what extent it can go, that we cannot say exactly. So from time to time then there's bigger wars. Now some small wars are there. But then just like there was World War I, World War II, so there may be a chance of World War III that may be there. Some astrologers are saying, some saintly people are saying, so that World War III will be there without doubt. And materialistic persons also mentioning like that. So it may be there. But to what extent, that we cannot exactly say. So, but if saintly persons are saying, and many saintly persons are saying, and even in some scriptures it is mentioned, where they have Bhavishyavani, words by great personalities, or mentioned also in different scriptures, that there may be a world war there again. And pointing out actually, and maybe 2-3 years. So, but the point is actually that we have to expect difficulties. It may be war, it may be just war between 2 countries, or it may be world war, or there may be some natural catastrophes, like the drought may be there, no rain is there, and then there will be difficulty there if no water is there, and people may die, or too much rain, or just like from the ocean, tsunami wave, big waves, and creating some destruction to some extent. So these things are happening always, or earthquake, and then people are dying. Sometimes many people are dying. That will be there, especially because in material world, so people are sinful, and then there's a reaction. The more people are sinful, the more reactions will be there. If people are surrendered to the Lord and engaged in spiritual activities, pious activities, then the situation in the world will be more peaceful and less difficulties will be there. So, but the more people are demoniac, the more the difficulties will be there, the more reactions will be there. So, but whatever it may be, we just have to engage in devotional service. But we may take some precautions, or we may, as Prabhupada also said, that we should have some farm communities, that we should have our own land, and we should have cows, and then we should take care of the land by growing then also vegetables, grains, and have fruit trees, and then from the milk, by taking care of the cows, then from the milk we can get of the cow, then we can get the energy. Milk is divine food, and we can make ghee with that, we can make yogurt, we can make paneer, and then we can, by depending on Krishna, by being in harmony with nature, then we can be more peaceful. So Prabhupada, he mentioned that we should have farm communities. And he said, and of course that is again an indication of a war, world war. Then people will leave the cities, and then they may take shelter of the devotees and the farm communities that Prabhupada has mentioned. Therefore he was stressing on that. So, but the tendency of the common person, or the tendency of even the devotees, is that, well, things are okay now, why to worry about the future? And so everything is supplied, so why to worry? Somehow, try to make some money somehow, by some profession, and then don't worry too much. And depend on Krishna. Of course, ultimately we have to depend on Krishna, but so then in the true sense, then that means to have farm communities and to depend in this way on Krishna by being in harmony with nature. Otherwise, if we depend on society, especially the society is very materialistic like it is nowadays, then though we may face difficulty in the future to some extent if we are dependent on society, on materialistic persons, on the way how things are going on now. So, but that we'll have to see. So it is sometimes not so easy to decide exactly in which way to go. But Prabhupada, he gave some indications and he gave some guidance, and he wanted farm communities and it's Vrindavan villages, that people live just like previously in Vrindavan, very simple. When I first came here in 1980, there were not so many houses and buildings and hardly any car. 1980 I came, you could hardly see any car. Hardly anybody in Vrindavan had a car. And not so many cars would come from Delhi or from elsewhere. It was very peaceful. And many peacocks were flying around, many parrots. And the water of the river was crystal clear. We used to drink the water of the Jamuna. Now you cannot think, now even we are afraid to take bath. So because so much pollution is there, and they made a dam, above Delhi, so towards the Himalayas, to make electricity, and because of that there is hardly any water most of the time, except during the rainy season. So on the Parikrama Marg, first, to going around Vrindavan, so there was no road, it was just the sand path. It was very pleasant, except there was some thorns sometimes on the path. And suddenly you have some thorn in your foot. And you just take it out and you continue. But now you can hardly walk, because there's too many cars and it's not pleasant. You get blisters because of the hard of the road. And then, so pollution is there from the vehicles. And so things have changed. Yes, and therefore devotees also feel Many times here, devotees they come from all over the world also, and they see that things change, and it's so crowded that sometimes devotees feel, what we are doing here? Such crowded place. Of course, still, if you go to the temple and you chant Hare Krishna and the kirtan there, and you hear the lecture, then no problem. But as soon as it is over, you have to go on the road, and it is crowded like anything. Like I went to the temple this evening, just somehow today it was too crowded. It was difficult to come here. So many vehicles were there, more than usual. Sometimes some VIPs coming, or this. One of the weekend, yeah, weekend crowd, yeah. Then more crowded weekend, and now sadhus are there, and they have many followers. Sometimes they block the road, like one sadhu is there, and then people come to see him, or when he's coming on the way, then like morning time. Now it's changing a little bit, but for some time it was Mangalatik time, like 4 o'clock, 4:15, and then the road is packed and you can hardly go through. It takes half an hour to go to the temple because so many cars at 4 o'clock in the morning. At least something positive, they're getting up early, the people. But many of the people, they go up to see the sadhu and then they go to sleep again. But we want to go to Mangalatik, but then it's crowded. You can hardly go through. What to do? So things have changed. Therefore devotees sometimes also feel, even sometimes I'm thinking, well, maybe it's good to have some farm community, and as Prabhupada wanted, and just be peaceful and have a little temple and in the natural environment. Because then it is easier, it is better for the health, for the consciousness. So the natural environment should be there. Sattvic, sattva-gun. And then sattvic ahar, the prasadam we take, and then, even there we have to control. Should not be too spicy, and we should not eat too much, not too little also. We should be balanced. So, and then when one is balanced in a mode of goodness, if one is kind to others, and tolerant and respectful, and so that is conducive, that is helpful. And then from the mode of goodness one can come to the transcendental stage, and then one can, advance. So, but yes, so we hope that by the chanting of the holy names, world war can be avoided, because if there's a war, then the difficulties are there. Then everyone will be crying and just shivering in fear. But it may happen. So, but as I'm saying many times, it is like this, that unless and until there is an emergency, then we just go as it goes. We go with the flow, how things are going. But then if a war is there, then suddenly wake-up call is there. Now what to do? And then we have to see. But at the same time, life will go on. People will die. If we survive, it's fine. If we have to leave the body, no problem. We engage in devotional service, and then one who does good is never overcome by evil. If we do good, then we give up the body and we'll go to, if we don't achieve the perfection, which is not so easy, by the way, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Chant 16 rounds and go back to Godhead. It is true, you can, but you have to really work on that and to become perfect. It is not so easy as it is said. But it is possible, but at the same time, so realizing the Lord and realizing our own self, so that is not so easy. But we try our best, and then Krishna will help. So we try, and then we'll see. So, but if there is a war, and if we have to give up the body, because anyhow we have to give up the body sooner or later, then we go to another place, and hopefully to a better place, and we can already prepare now. Okay, and eventually I have to give up the body. Let me, next lifetime. So if I don't go to Krishna, then directly, then let me at least go to a place which is sattvic, and let me be in the association of saintly persons. Let me appear, or let me take birth just in a universe where Mahaprabhu just appeared. So think about the future, and then Krishna will reciprocate also. But we should try to make as much advancement as possible. And so if there's a war and we have to die, no problem. We go to another place. But we have to try to make as much advancement as possible in this life, so that we have a better situation in the next life. So it is an ongoing process. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavamam paparite vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma surulabhaha. Bahunam janmanamante. After many lives you can really understand that Vasudeva, Krishna is everything. Veti tattvataha. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatadisari yatadam abhisiranam kaschimam veti tattvataha. To know Krishna in truth means to realize Krishna and oneself. That is not so easy. Not so easy. Sudurlabh, it is very rare, but it is possible, but it is rare. So if he can make it, fine, it is good, wonderful. If not, at least try to make as much advancement as possible so that next life maybe you can attain perfection. So don't worry about the war. But if you're concerned, then try to be in good association, and maybe to see that you can live in a place where you can depend on Krishna, like from community, and then depending on Krishna, be in harmony with nature, then you don't have to depend on society. So we may be concerned, and we may think about it, what to do, but then we see how it goes. Yeah. So many times I'm thinking also, but then we are here, and at the same time the temple is there, and the seva is there, and so somehow it will go on, even if there's a war. It will go on. Still people will be there, nearby places, the farmers are still there, they will still be there, and they are having their crops and having their grains, and some supply will be there, but maybe not too much. And then usually also that those who are more strong, they will more easily survive. Survival of the fittest. If you are strong, then you have more chances to survive. But then, but at the same time, so Krishna is also protecting, Krishna is helping. So the main concern should be how to become Krishna conscious. Not what will happen tomorrow in this world, if there is war or not war. So, main thing is you have to try to be Krishna conscious now, and try to be sincere now, and then everything is fine. But concern is there, and some saintly people are saying, so in 1 or 2 years something may happen. Some say 2027, in 2 years it will get tough. And 2028 maybe, according to astrology also, so situation may be there that a world war may be there. Unless the Sankirtan movement becomes so powerful. But I mean, you can see even on internet, even amongst the spiritual institution, there's kind of, criticizing each other, trying to pull down each other. Even in our movement, so much kind of disharmony is there. So then what you can expect if this is there? So then difficulties will come, undoubtedly. So, but anyhow, chant Hare Krishna, be happy and take prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.